All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig, Guna Eagle Eye Channel, and that's right, you are through to another episode of the Filthy Casual and Hardcore Show. The show where we talk boxing and where we also talk a little bit of MMA too. Obviously, joining me is my co-host Ola. Hello to the people, Ola.
What's happening, people? We're back in the house again. MMA, boxing, fight month.
Uh,
Yeah, we're talking about it. Keep it locked on here.
yeah, let's jump into it. So obviously tomorrow, I don't know about you, I am most definitely ordering it. It is the Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin fight. This is a big fight for AJ, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous fight. What do you think about it?
You know, we were talking about this on Twitter a couple months ago. I
Yeah.
remember we had a big long thread about it.
Mm-hmm.
How this fight was, how it came about, really, because it was nailed on for Joshua to fight Wilder, and we thought that was the fight we were going to be seeing.
Yeah.
Um, and for some reason, things went left. Things didn't get done. I think everybody from either side of Wilder and Anthony Joshua in their management were trying to get the best for their fighters, and for some reason they couldn't put the deal together.
Yeah.
So Povetkin is coming and is willing to take on the challenge. And we said at the time, if you remember, that this actual fight, as much as everybody was looking forward to the Wilder fight, this is a potentially more dangerous fight
Mm-hmm.
for Anthony Joshua. And uh, you know, looking at Joshua's presser the other day, he 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 shows respect for Povetkin, and he knows what he's capable of. You know, he knows he's he's got a strong pedigree about him, and he's somebody that will definitely test him and drag him into deep waters.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got added interest in this fight, both me and you, because of
Mm-hmm.
its origins. So
Of course.
obviously we're going to
Natural
be,
man. Natural man.
we got extra invested interest in it. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on it. We're going to be keeping a close eye on it. So obviously we want him to pull it off, and it's it's a fight that I think, I don't want to say it could go either way, but this is boxing, man. So
And it's
it's going to be
heavyweight
interesting.
boxing at that.
Heavyweight boxing at that, exactly. There's more chance of some fuckeries happening in the
Yeah.
heavyweight class than any other class. So yeah. But I'm gassed for this fight. I can't wait. I can't wait for it to go down.
Me, I think it's a very interesting fight. I believe that Joshua weighed in today at 17.8, and Povetkin weighed in at 15 stone 12, which is super light for him. It's his career lightest. An amazing job, really, considering the fact that the man is 39 years old. But like you very accurately said before, the guy has pedigree. We're talking about an Olympic gold medalist, someone who's had a decent number of amateur fights. Very rarely does he get knocked down or anything like that. And I bet, as I described that, you think I'm talking about AJ. No, I'm talking about Povetkin. Povetkin is an
Okay.
Olympic medalist. He is someone who is tough, durable, has power in either hand. I mean, we're talking about someone that initially started in a division two, divisions lighter than this one, and has worked his way up and still has the power to knock out big heavyweights. I mean, let's take his last fight against David Price. I mean, me personally, I love watching David Price fight because you know one of two things. Either he's going to knock out somebody or he's going to get knocked out. And so he's not boring. And Price, fair play to Price. My man put Povetkin down. And it was a shock to everybody. We're like, hold up, what? And if anything, it just seemed to piss off Povetkin. My man sprung up and was like, fuck this. And knocked him down straight away.
Put him away, man.
And Price is a big 6'9" guy. So to me, that tells me that there is opportunities there for AJ. Povetkin, to me, makes a lot of technical mistakes. And I think this is where I think will provide the opening to AJ. So whenever he throws a right hand, he puts his face right down and it's right in the range of a big uppercut. And AJ loves an uppercut. He loves that uppercut. Every time he throws a right hand, his face is real reckless. He's out there. He's out there. And I don't think he's got this granite chin the way people think. I was shocked that David Price managed to put him down. But then that also made me think, well, if Price can put him down, surely AJ can. My fear with AJ is I don't think AJ has the strongest chin either. And I do feel like Povetkin carries so much power that unless AJ respects him, could put him on the floor. And that's my feeling on it. That I feel like if AJ is going to win this, at some point in that fight, he's going to have to pick himself off the floor, regroup, and then try and either get him out of there or dominate the rest of the fight.
I think AJ is going to is the type of fight that I'm expecting and I hope will happen is the type of fight that Fury had with his last opponent.
Okay.
Walk him down, win every round, probably try and go the distance for his own fitness because AJ's gas tank has been questioned. He's been questioned before.
I was going to ask you this question. What do you think is the key for AJ to win this fight?
I think he has to take it to the scorecards. Povetkin is going to be very, very hard to knock out, and if he goes in to try and knock him out, like I said, his gas is being questioned. He could punch himself out, and if he punches himself out, and Povetkin doesn't go down, he sees an opening. And that could be the demise of AJ. I think AJ is going to be very, very, very technical on this and try and pick his shots, and because he knows he's a gold Olympic medalist. AJ already said that in the press conference. He respects him. He knows that about his game, and he knows, this guy has got what it takes to get the job done if the opportunity is there for him. Now it is for AJ now not to present him with that opportunity and pick his shots wisely. And I think the way to go is to win every round. Just take it round by round, win every round, and obviously, like I said, if the shot then if the chance presents itself for AJ to get that uppercut in and test that chin, then he will surely take the chance there. But I think the best way to go, Povetkin is so dangerous, and people are underestimating. I'm shocked by the amount of people that I see on social media underestimating this guy and thinking AJ is just gonna walk through it.
In 6, and I'm like, bruh, you obviously don't know boxing because it's like this guy is no chump.
It's no slouch, man. This guy he knows the game, he knows the fight game, and for me, I think AJ that's probably the only opponent is paid the most respect to, and this is somebody that fought Klitschko. He's paying more respect to this guy than he did Klitschko, and that says it all. That says it all on what he thinks of Povetkin. And yeah, it's a very, very interesting fight. It's gonna be a fun fight, I think. But at the same time, I think this might be that word for that cliche there, but it might be the one for the purist. I think it's going to be round by round, and I think it'll go the distance, and whoever's more technical on the night might end up taking the victory.
It's funny you should say that. So I think my concern with AJ is that he feels under pressure to knock him out, because he hasn't knocked out Parker. The referee jumped in way too soon against Takam. So he may feel psychologically like he owes the crowd one.
I think AJ is a very, very clever fighter.
I hope he doesn't get sucked.
And the best thing he's done with his career so far, in my opinion, is surround himself with good people, and the people, his team, and he's getting good advice from them. And the way he carries himself, people see him as boring, and I saw on social media he was getting trashed yesterday. That is probably the most boring fighter they've ever seen, and I said, being humble and carrying yourself in a certain way doesn't make you a bad fighter. It doesn't make you a good fighter neither. You could do all the trash talk and end up like getting the same demise that Fury ended up with, getting banned for 2 years, or being out of the fight game. So people find Fury entertaining, but he's been a chauvinistic guy out there. He's been sexist out there. All that sort of stuff that makes you politically correct. Fury comes out with all this odd stuff, and yeah, he has people that like that type of stuff. But AJ just isn't that type of guy, and it's not looking to play that type of game. If you want to trash talk, he'll let you do the trash talking, because ultimately you're the one that's going to end up selling the fight.
Yeah,
all he has to do is defend his title, and
he's very media trained, I suppose. So that's why people don't trust people that are overly rehearsed, and I think that's what the hate is. I personally agree with you. I don't really get the whole he's boring stuff. I don't find him particularly boring. Do I find, say, for example, a Dylan White more of an interesting interview to watch? Yeah, but that doesn't mean
people want to see a Dylan White type guy, or Chisora. Chisora will bite your ears off. He'll bite your nose off in the press conference. But that man will take your head off.
People like that. Since before time. When you look at Mike Tyson, for example, Mike Tyson is a crazy motherfucker, right? But people, including me, by the way, people.
Oh yeah.
People loved that kind of unpredictable, big character. Is AJ a big character? No, I don't think he is. But I don't personally think that he is a boring guy.
There's definitely nothing boring about his fights.
Yeah, and there you go, and that's, to bring it full circle, my worry, that he may feel under pressure to think, maybe if I can just coach him into it, I'll hit him because he's so light, I'm gonna spark him out. I know I am. I do think Povetkin will present him problems that AJ's gonna have to be clever and solve. I do think that there is a stronger possibility among all of his 21 fights that this is the most likely fight he could lose. To me.
I agree.
On paper. Having said all of that, though, I expect AJ to knock him out in 10. Having said all of that, I honestly think there's a possibility AJ may get knocked down in this fight. Prepare yourself for it. I think that could happen. But I think AJ, in a very similar vein to the Dylan White fight, where he had to almost regroup himself and say, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I would say is you hit the nail on the head. It's very intelligent. The way he speaks about fights and the way he sees the fight unfolding, I think he'll make the necessary adjustments that he needs to if he finds himself in trouble.
Absolutely.
Whereas I don't think Povetkin has that gear in his head. He fights in one way, that left jab, that right hand, and his head is everywhere and it's exposed. To me, I think he'll leave AJ enough opportunities. I think AJ's the cleaner fighter too. So I think AJ will be, his guard will be very important. And the key to the fight for AJ is the height and therefore his jab. AJ's jab is the most underrated jab in boxing.
It hurts. It hurts. You could see in the opponents, their wings and everything when he touches them, man.
And I'll tell you what, that's how he beat Joseph Parker. He just jabbed this motherfucker out of the fight.
Yeah.
You jabbed him out of the fight, and that's what essentially he's going to need to do that with Povetkin. Just jab him out of the fight. I expect Povetkin to then try and put the pressure on, which I think suits AJ to the ground. Because AJ, to me, is a counter puncher.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be a point where Povetkin will present himself, for the want of a better expression, to AJ and eventually knock him out. And I see him knocking him out in 10. That's my honest opinion.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're both going for the winner, but in different ways. So we'll see how it pans out.
We'll see how it pans out. Anyway, so that's the boxing out of it. So let's move on to UFC. As you can see, the hardcore fan of UFC has his hat on, and that is Ola. So let's talk about. We're going to save the presser for a second. Let's talk about Jon Jones, the amazing, most frustrating, most annoying, technically the best fighter in UFC. Jon Jones has somehow, some way avoided a 4-year ban for mistakenly taking steroids. And has ended up...
I think I got echo going on there still.
and has ended up with a 15-month suspended sentence, which, by the way, ends in October because they've kind of backdated it.
It's like being on remand.
Yeah, he's like being on remand. Honestly, for me, and let me just get it out of the way because I know you're the expert here, but to me, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. And this is what annoys me about MMA fans, because I am the boxing purist. I like MMA. Hell, I love MMA. But I am the boxing guy. But when MMA people start talking this shit about, oh, well, you know, like the Alvarez fight last week, which we also need to talk about as well. But the Alvarez fight last week, and saying, oh, it was a fix, it was this, it was that. There's so much politics in boxing. That's why I don't watch it. Motherfucker, what do you call this? What do you call this?
The powers that be. Right at the top, they spoke to you. They've spoken to you, Sada.
Yeah,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Go on.
So I think the powers that be, they got involved in it. Jon Jones is a very polarizing character.
That he is very excellent.
It's one of those that if you don't like, there's people that just love him regardless of what he does.
Yeah.
All right. Jon Jones could not do anything worse in the eyes of certain people.
Wow.
And in a way, I include myself in that, even in a slight way.
I'm not going to lie to you, that is one of the lowest of the low things to do. A pregnant woman, and instead of at least checking to see this woman was okay, this motherfucker returned to the city to grab some cash and then bounce.
In a slight way, there's something devilish about Jon Jones. You just think, can this guy get any fucking worse?
The guy is nuts. Honestly, is nuts. But there is no doubting his talent. He's probably one of the purest, most talented fighters there has ever been. If we're just talking about talent, forget his uses of drugs. And listen, drugs don't make you talented.
No.
They build endurance, yes. That you can maybe argue that makes you a little bit quicker and this, that, and the other. It doesn't build talent. Listen, I could take all the fucking PEDs in the world. I ain't gonna be able to do what the fuck Jon Jones does.
I mean, let's be honest, yeah. I've got some echo feedback going on there. Let's be honest, yeah. I think look, the way he beat Cormier the last time, especially on that fucking head kick that got Cormier crying like a baby in the fucking octagon, right? And I love Daniel Cormier. Don't get me wrong. I idolize this guy for what he's brought to the sport and everything else. I just love this guy. Yeah. But when he kicked him in the head and Cormier lost his mind in the octagon, he grasped him up. I says, you know what? The way this man kicked me, no one's ever kicked me like that and hurt so bad. I beg you lot test him. I beg you lot test him. And the tutus, they test the man out. Lo and behold, the peace test is on fire.
I was heartbroken because I want to like Jon Jones. I want to like Jon Jones. But every fucking time this guy gives me another reason to not like Jon Jones. And to be fair to him,
on this one,
you believe him, don't you? You believe that
No. Well, from what they said,
you've been watching too many Joe Rogan. Oh well.
From what they said, yeah, he got caught doing dick pills, in it, like Viagra and shit. So it's not. I don't know which female he was trying to bat a dagger. You know what I mean? That's his business. Yeah, I don't know if it was if someone made him choose the red pills or the blue pills like the Matrix. And they said if you choose one of these, this is gonna make you do that. But you know, he went with it. He got caught. It went a performance enhancing drug. What he got caught with? Simple as that. It was some dick pills and he did cocaine, and those were not going to make you stronger or better in the octagon.
I hate to correct you, brother, but he recently got popped for steroids. Anabolic steroids was his most recent pop. That was why he was born. That was why he was banned.
Whoa. From what I read and checked out, they said the reason why they couldn't do him for the 4 years was because they found that the thing in the system, it couldn't have knowingly taken it. There's no way he could have knowingly. Well, the power. Somebody, I don't know what they paid USADA. USADA be tripping sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's like Canelo with this tainted meat. It's like, motherfucker.
Hey, the man said he ate some tacos. You know what I mean? What you want from me? What do you want from me? The man said, look, I ate bad tacos.
Oh, shit.
I ate bad tacos, man. Shit. This thing happened.
It's after the fight. They tried to...
Have you not ever ate bad chicken wings?
Yeah, but there's no way I'm getting one of them little backdoor chicken places.
Well, what you saying? What you like Morley's? Is it Morley's or Sam's? Because KFC is kind of getting fucked up right now.
I know. I've got a couple of points coming off my black card. I have never been to Morley's.
No.
Never. But I have been to Chicken in Tottenham, but I've never been to Morley's.
brethren, you
I know.
you gotta hit Morley's, man.
I know.
You ain't ate chicken wings until you fucking been Morley's, brethren.
Bruh, the
Come on, man.
nearest one to me is in South London.
It's worth it. It's worth the trip.
I heard. I heard. I will endeavour to go.
It's worth the trip, man. So, well, let's not go on the chicken wing fest now.
But I'll tell you what. Do you believe the rumours that Jon Jones has been brought back? Because obviously 230 is missing the main event.
Yeah, I don't think it would make the main event. I think it's too soon.
Okay.
It's definitely going to need
basic Gustafsson, who caused him so many problems.
It's definitely going to need at least a 4-month camp. We're literally in October now.
Yeah.
So and he's still got to serve October, or at least some of October.
Yeah.
Before he can even start thinking about anything. So you need at least 3-4 month camp to go into a fight. So I think it could be ready in January. And we know that Cormier wants to retire in March. So
let me tell you something. I'd be surprised if he retires and doesn't fight Jones.
I think he doesn't want I don't think he wants any more Jones. Because he knows Jones can beat him. He knows that. Yeah. And there's no way in God's green earth that Cormier wants to go out like that to Jones again after everything is been through.
You're the hardcore guy when it comes to UFC, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now. I will be prepared to bet that Daniel Cormier will do whatever it takes, even if, because I expect him to fuck over fucking Brock. There is no way he will not want that one last fight with Jones.
Because he knows Jones is not going to be clean by the time he gets to it. And there's no...
Even you're saying that. So thank you.
He knows. Look, the type of people that I want to see Jones dealing with is Brock. I want to see Jones fighting heavyweight.
Yeah, I prefer that Brock Jones.
I would. Let's face it. He called Brock out.
Yeah.
Before Cormier even did.
Yeah.
After he beat Cormier, the last time when he kicked him in the head, he called Brock Lesnar out. Then this happened. So he couldn't even get that to go down. So now,
by rights, you know what I'd love to see? DC Jones, the winner, fights Brock. Fuck it.
So what happens to Stipe in all of this?
Oh, honestly,
come on down. Come on down. Come on. We tried. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you another fight I wouldn't mind seeing though. All jokes aside, Jones Stipe. I think that'd be a good fucking fight.
Jones Stipe could very well be a very good comeback fight for Jones.
Yeah.
They're talking about Rumble Johnson and Jones. I was listening to Rumble.
I was gutted. I saw it.
Did you see that thing I tweeted out with Rumble Johnson and Jones?
Yeah.
And they said they could do it. And both of these guys are brethren. They're really, really good friends outside the octagon. They've got some investment franchises together. We know Rumble Johnson left the UFC to go and invest in weed business, and it's thriving out there. Obviously, the thing's legal out there, and he's making a lot of money doing it.
But he missed it because he fucking retired too early.
He missed fighting, and he said if there's one fight that he would come back for, it would be Jones, because they
style to do something against Jones, because
he was supposed to do it with Jones.
Yeah,
but Jones ended up hitting that woman and doing the hit and run.
I can't believe it.
So
they should do a biopic on Jon Jones, because I tell you what, that film would be amazing. That film would be amazing.
It would be fantastic if you know what I think in the end. With the type of life that Jon Jones is lived and in his career and everything, and he always seems to come back.
Yeah,
It comes back swinging, comes back fighting, and I think it would definitely get one of those,
Yeah.
and it'd be a good story too, because everybody loves the stories of you know, what do you call them, villains, and what's the other guys, to the good guys and the bad guys. So you know, everybody loves to see one of those type of stories there, and definitely Jon Jones is one of those. And I think to document his career and all the madness is done within it, and it's not over yet. It's not
Yeah.
over yet.
My man's still
So
30. He's only 30.
he's young. It's so strange to think how young this guy is and how long it could easily have another 10 years in the UFC
Because
if
he
he wanted to.
himself in good shape. So he's whether that's with support or not.
And if there's anyone that can, do some trash talking in press conferences, Jones Jones is definitely one of those guys. Like he brings it. He brings everything. He does his research. He's the guy, and that's what's devilish about Jones that I like, and what he does in the octagon. Right, the octagon antics and that. Okay, it's nice to gossip about. It's nice to talk about, but as a fight fan and as a UFC fan, I want to see Jones in the octagon doing what he does best. You know, that's why I want to see Jones. That's where he does his best work, and for me, I can't wait to see him back in the octagon. I know Mark Hunt said something about you know, people should be banned for life once they've been caught so many times. When Wanderlei Silva only just got banned, I think he got a 2-year ban.
Yeah, did you see that little Twitter beef between those two?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So that's some crazy shit. So Wanderlei Silva is got banned, and Mark Hunt is not feeling it, you know, and he thinks all these people that do bad shit, they keep getting rewarded with super fights. And that's what I keep saying to you, that there's something enticing about the devilish ways that these guys go on. It's like Brock Lesnar.
But here's the thing, you can't contradict yourself, because we made this very fucking point with AJ. The devilish behavior of a Tyson Fury, of a Dylan White, the fucking list goes on. Fucking hell, a Tyson.
A Tyson, yes.
What people gravitate towards.
Oh, yeah.
It
does. But then
McGregor, who we're about to come on to.
Yeah, let's come on to that.
What a presser that was. I mean, fucking the one thing I'll say for
sorry. Before we go to that, Jimmy Manuwa is fighting Silva tomorrow.
Okay, big shout out.
London. Another London Nigerian brother there, and he was close to getting to Cormier.
Yeah.
But he got dealt with by Ozemaya. Mr. No Time, he knocked him out. Obviously, he's been trying to get back up since, and he's not been able to get there just yet. I think both of those guys will cross paths again. I think both of them will cross paths again, but who do they have to get past to get to Cormier? They have to get past Gustafsson at some point.
Maybe Anthony Smith, who's the next new star they're trying to build.
In that division. So, you know, that'll be a fun fight. Again, rooting for Jimmy Manuwa. I hope he gets back to winning ways. So, you know, he's got a big fight tomorrow. I think this fight tomorrow means a lot to him in terms of getting himself back to at least number one contender. That's the road back to being the number one contender. And
because this time 18 months ago he was a beast, and then like you say,
he was knocking everyone out.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened.
He just got touched, and he just kept getting touched, man. And boy, you know, and I know there's a good fighter in there. He's such a wicked fighter, but like we said, you know, light heavyweight, you know, it's one punch, man. One punch and the man's out. So And psychologically, it fucks with them. Look what's happened to Francis Ngannou. You
Oh,
know,
gosh. That one still
look,
breaks my heart, I'll be honest.
you know what I mean. This is somebody that terrified the planet after knocking out Alistair Overeem.
The way,
Terrified everyone.
yeah,
You know, the way he nearly took his head off, and Stipe just buoyed him off,
dealt
and
with it.
since then, you know, it's not recovered.
And
And the
don't
fact,
get me wrong, after the fight, fucking hell, Stipe looked like he was the fucking loser. He took some shots.
yeah, he did.
Shots and was just like, all right, I'm still leaning on your punk ass. Do something.
His wrestling game is so crap. He needs to work on that. His wrestling game is so whack.
Because he have that much power and not know how to fucking grapple. I'm sorry. Come on, bro. Come on. You should be working on that as part of your game.
Definitely. So you know, and the guy they got him with now in Curtis Blades. I fear for Francis, man.
Yeah, I don't like that fight for him either.
I fear for Francis, man.
Blades is a fucking beast.
He's a killer, man. He's a fucking monster.
Fucking close. So I don't know what on earth is going to happen now, but we'll see.
I fear for Francis. So you know, Francis is going to have to be on his A game if he's to get anything out of Blades. Yeah, if not, Blades is slicing up his throat, man. It's a cutthroat business, and Blades won't hold back to slice his throat up. So going to the presser, Conor McGregor.
So, man, that was some madness, man. Fucking hell. So, if you were living under a rock yesterday, and admittedly, a lot of us were, i.e., at the Emirates living under a rock, but I came back and I stuck on YouTube. And as if YouTube, I must admit that sometimes...
You know I don't live under the rock when it comes to stuff like that.
But that's the thing. Sometimes YouTube will suggest you the wildest thing. You're like, what are you telling me to watch this video? But it's almost as though right, you're going to want to see this, right? And it flashed up on my screen as a suggested video. I thought, oh, shit, let me play it. And I missed the first 40 minutes, but I was told the first 40 minutes was basically just...
That was just formalities and crap and all that nonsense.
That type of shit.
You got the best part.
Fucking hell. I just watched McGregor absolutely tear into Khabib. And for the most part, I would say Khabib kept his cool. I must admit, though, you must be... I don't know, man. He was saying shit about his dad and saying how he's a disgrace to his country and shit. Like, I'm like, what? My man's going deep, like deep. Like,
deep. Balls deep, teabagging, all sorts. Like, deep. Oh, my God. I mean, one thing that I saw from that whole presser, yeah? Because let's rewind back a little bit.
Go on.
About 3 weeks ago, a month ago, Conor refused. He said he wasn't going to do no media work. I don't know if you heard about it, but he said, I ain't doing no media work. All I want to do is concentrate on my camp. I want to concentrate on my stuff. And people were saying, oh, the reason he don't want to do media work is he don't want to go and do all the trash talk. And if he does the trash talk, and he loses, then, you know, it's not going to look bad on him. That type of stuff. So, coming in yesterday and the presser happening, it occurred to me.
Mind you, before you even get there, bro, he was contradicting the UFC saying, oh, the press is going to be a public forum and this, that. And the UFC was like, no, it's just going to be the media. There ain't going to be no public there. And then yesterday he comes into the presser. He's like, listen, if I had more say about this whole media thing, the public will be in here. They're the ones that pay their hard money and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, this is a massive U-turn from fucking a month ago where you were like, oh, I ain't gonna do shit for this. So yeah, anyway, sorry.
So what I took away from him doing that U-turn is he struck a deal with Dana. I think he's got Dana in his pocket. Because you tell me what other UFC superstar can come on a public media conference like that thousands, maybe millions of people going to be watching and advertise his own commercial products. Because he's already, I think that's how Dana got him to do it. Basically, what he'd be asking, what is in it for me to make me leave my beloved camp, my camp that I am focused on right now? What can you give me? What's in it for me?
Mm-hmm.
What do what are you offering me for it?
Right, his product is going to be sponsoring the thing.
His spot is on the canvas, like he said. Who in UFC gets Dana to drink whiskey live? Who does that? Conor is crazy, man. I love this guy. I mean, his shenanigans, the way he went about everything. I mean, that's probably one of the most, maybe Chael Sonnen is done quite a lot of interesting trash talking and press conferences. But going away from the Floyd Mayweather press conference tour that it came to London, went to Canada, and they done one in New York. Aside from that, I think this one here, even though it's a little teaser, little 25 minutes right at the end where everything got interesting. I thought Conor was on his game. It was on his game, getting into people's head mentally. He treated it the same way he treated Aldo. Look, Khabib was always going to be at a disadvantage.
Of course.
The guy can't speak English properly. So that was a losing fight to even. I don't even know why. If I were Khabib, I'll be the one refusing to do media with this motherfucker. I said, brethren, have you heard my English? My English is shite. Why you got me going fucking word for word, bar for bar with this fucking, you know what I mean?
I'm with
yeah. So to me, I just thought, it was a losing battle already, even getting on the mic with Conor. Conor thrives on a mic. Conor thrives in front of the cameras. That's where he does it, you know what I mean? He does his best work there. Trash talking. And Dana loves it. You see, the reason why he accommodated all of that, yeah, is because he knew Conor was going to sell the fight. This fight needs no promo. Conor's already done the hard work on the promo, throwing the dollar at the boss, at Khabib's teammates. True. You know what I mean? Conor's done all of this, all of the groundwork to get this fight to sell, man. And, bro, I wish October 6th was tomorrow. Bro, I wanted that fight to start soon as the press conference was over. And in a way, while all of that was going on, there is the UFC fight fan in me that's feeling sorry for Conor.
Yeah.
That's feeling sorry for Conor because I'm thinking, you don't know what you're picking off. This guy might not be able to speak with you, but you do not know what you're doing right now. To disrespect a Russian man's fucking clan, his people, his country, his solidarity, there's everything. Conor was just disrespecting everything. Like he shat on the whole of, and through all of that, he still had a little respect for Putin. Did you catch that, man? Like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to call Putin a liar? What are you? Oh my God!
Are you trying to disrespect your president? All that shit.
Yeah, all that shit. Like trying to make you look a cunt. You know who brings? Because let's face it, Conor's been stripped. Yeah, that's why Khabib is the light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, the lightweight champion, and Max Holloway is the featherweight champion.
Because Conor
right?
doesn't defend belts. We know
So
this.
Conor doesn't, but he got the audacity. I believed it. Well, I almost believed it. When he's trying to talk about Khabib's belt is the fake belt. And he's got to sat down there and he's selling it to people. Saying, what you got that fake belt over there? This is the real fucking belt over here. And I'm thinking, God damn, he's running some Kobe Covington type shenanigans there. I don't know who learned it from who, but them two stealing each other's bars, and it's fucking Connor's selling it the better though. Connor's definitely selling it to me.
Oh, let's be
And
real. Kobe stole his whole swag from Conor. His whole.
I think he did, yeah. I'd go with that.
As Conor
Kobe is the Conor wannabe, really, don't he?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, obviously, a little bit closer to the fight, we'll properly preview it and really talk about the whole 229 card. But to me, I watched that and I was in two minds. Part of me thought to myself, because Conor has this habit of when he speaks, you think, fucking hell, could he actually do this thing? Because the one thing I would say for Conor, and I think I said this to you privately, is the one thing I'll say to him is Conor doesn't lose fights that he's expected to lose.
Yeah.
The fights that he loses are the kind of last minute, the people that you wouldn't even think, oh, this is going to be a standard routine thing, like a Nate Diaz, which was a last minute replacement. He wasn't supposed to fight Nate Diaz. The first time. But he kind of almost took him for granted, and perhaps because he felt that because Nate was seen as the stand-up guy, and people were like, well, that's going to suit Conor down to the ground. What people didn't realize is, oh, shit, Nate Diaz has a jiu-jitsu game, and they tapped him out. And that's the thing. So part of me is like, could this motherfucker actually knock out Khabib? Because Khabib takes shots. But then the other part of me is like, nah, you've made this personal, bro. That every single concern I had for Khabib making weight, but Khabib maybe getting complacent, is all gone now.
Khabib's going to show up.
There is no way Khabib ain't going to not show up. There's going to be no way that even if Khabib breaks something in training, that this motherfucker will drag his leg through that training camp just so he can make it in that ring with Conor.
Khabib will be there.
But Conor also...
I got some echo going on.
All right. And Conor also alluded to something that he said about, oh, if you pull out, you know what will happen, which makes me think maybe there's some sort of clause in that contract to say that if this motherfucker pulls out, he owes me X amount of money.
Yeah, because I think obviously there is, like I said, there's a lot riding in terms of Conor's promotion in this fight. Is helping promoting the fight. It's not an employee of the UFC. He's partner with Dana. He's partnering with Dana. So there's contracts, there is shares, there's contractual obligations that has to be reached, but I don't even have any concerns for that. I know now that that Khabib will show up, and everything that Khabib couldn't say in this press conference, he will say in the octagon because he likes to talk in the octagon.
Okay, don't spoil what your prediction will be. We'll say that when we preview the fight. That's all I'm going to say. Don't spoil your prediction. It could change.
I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying. Khabib is one of these fighters that anybody that's watched him over the years, over his career, would know that he likes to break the mindset of his opponents, and it just keeps him down there. Yeah. But on the other hand, like you said, it takes a lot of shots.
He does.
And
he takes a lot of shots.
To get
with them
to
shots.
get to the point where he takes his opponents down, he has to take some shots to get there.
Yeah.
And this is where it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in that division that's more clinical. Who would you say the most clinical striker in football is?
What now?
Now. The most clinical.
Honestly, pound for pound.
Pound for pound.
If we're talking pound for pound.
Pound for pound, in front of goal, clinical, live for finish, knows where to hurt the goalkeeper.
If you had to choose one striker in the Premier League right now, it'll be Aguero. Let me tell you something. On my fantasy football team, is the first name in my team.
It's the first name on the thing. Now, he's got the same capabilities that Conor has when it comes to finding somebody's chin. I mean, you hang your chin out there for Conor to find. Not even hang. You don't even have to hang it. You could be trying to hide it, but you leave one opening. And the mad thing with Conor is he doesn't have to punch you because everybody's talking about his left hand. But he's got kicks as well.
Yeah,
he's got kicks as well.
Yeah.
And he can kick a man in the head.
Yeah.
Easily. Jon Jones style the same way he finished Cormier.
Yeah.
That same type of head kick. Conor's got that. He's got that in abundance. Yeah. So everybody's talking about this left hand, but not worrying about Conor's kicking. And Conor can finish a man doing that. And when a man's shooting in to go for the single leg takedown, and that kick comes and oh God, you know, there's so many ways that this fight could end. So many ways. And it's gonna be interesting. It really is. I think when you look at both of them, the way this pressure has gone, it's definitely set up to be a great bout. And I'm looking forward to it.
It's just added the exact...
I mean, Conor's in his element when he's doing stuff like that. Yeah. And obviously he's got invested interest to make it as most watched as much as possible, because he's promoting his whiskey on there, drinking up his whiskey on there. Even Dana was begging people, please don't bring him no cups. And they're still gonna... I'm thinking to myself, so who's the boss around here? Dana tells you not to bring no cup. You don't bring no cup. But
let's be honest. He's Conor's bitch. Always has been. Always will be.
Always will be. Conor earned him a lot of money, so you know, on that Mayweather fight, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just chuffed that this fight is finally gonna happen. And now I don't see any reason for it not to happen. And I can't wait till it fucking happens. But tomorrow, we enjoy Joshua, we enjoy Jimmy Manuwa. There's a proper fight night tomorrow, and there's gonna be. Let's hope both of those guys get their hands raised tomorrow. I don't care how they get their hands raised, but say that again.
Are you watching the fight?
Oh yeah, I'm watching both of them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, basically, so the guest I was going to get on, for people who are watching and wondering, where is the guest that Chris is talking about? So I was planning to get Kenny Ken on. But then me and Kenny Ken had this idea of, well, why don't we just come on straight after the fight? I was like, well, yeah, why don't we just come on straight after the fight?
Why don't we just come on straight after the fight?
I'm like, fuck it, let's come on straight after the fight. So straight after the fight, we'll jump on and just talk about what the fuck we just witnessed. So it will literally be a live reactionary review with Kenny Ken, myself, and Ola.
And there might be some knee jerking in it. You know what I'm like. So.
We'll talk about it. No matter what happens, if it's AJ's time to lose, it's AJ's time to lose. We both expect him to win. We both think it won't be easy. But as long as AJ sticks to a game plan, sticks behind that jab, and then the openings that present itself, take advantage of them. And I think AJ's the cleaner boxer he should. I'd be absolutely shocked if AJ knocks him out in the first 2 or something. I'd be shocked. But yeah, let's see what happens, people. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it from. Oh, before we go, let me get your quick opinion on the Alvarez versus Canelo fight. Did you watch it?
Oh yes. I caught some of it, and in a way, I thought it was a good fight. I thought Canelo delivered more power punches than Triple G. Triple G came in with a lot of jabs.
Yeah.
I think he outworked him, landed so many jabs on him, but the power punches that really felt like done more damage than not. Canelo came with it, and I felt Canelo walked down Triple G a lot in the fight. I wasn't expecting Canelo to come with this fight. I had Triple G down to win.
And I'm sure Andy would say the same thing, because I know that when we were both on the Gooners in the USA, shout out to Mike and Andy.
Big up Andy.
Andy was pretty confident that, you know, Canelo would get, and we all were. Let's be real here. We all were. We all thought that Triple G would get the job done. That played to Canelo, because when I first watched the fight, I thought to myself, this is a tough one. But then I re-watched the fight, and then I thought to myself, you know what? Fair enough. This was closer than I thought. I still thought Triple G won, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a robbery. You know, it's kind of, it depends what you like.
In a way, it felt like the first fight in some ways.
Yeah.
It felt like the first fight.
I thought it was closer than the first fight. The first fight, I was a bit like, it was so obvious to me that Triple G.
If you think it was closer than the first fight, and the first fight was a draw, how come this is not a draw?
To me, I still think. Well, I think Triple G won both fights. to be honest.
Well, yeah. Well, one of the judges screwed up the cards, in it. To be fair.
He won both fights, but the first fight he definitely won. I don't think many people are disagreeing with that. This fight, I still thought he won, but it was closer than I initially gave it credit for. When I watched the fight the first time, I was a bit like, this is some bullshit. But then I watched it again, and I'm going to lie, there were a couple of times where Canelo had him hurt. And fair play, because this fight was a lot better than the first one. It was a really enjoyable fight. Really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The cynic in me, I couldn't help it but think, as close as the fight was, they wouldn't want to give it to Triple G. Yeah. Because boxing, again, they are, as much as it's a beautiful sport, is a sport that I love, they're about their money.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than this time next year, we're talking about Triple G Canelo trilogy.
We'll see. We'll see. It could happen. They're not going to get a bigger payday than fighting for a third time. They won't get a bigger payday.
I think the trilogy could be where it's at, and you know, maybe 1 or 2 super fights might come in between that, but the trilogy, everybody will want to see the trilogy because they're both talking about being robbed. Canelo thought he was robbed the first time round. Triple G thinks he's been robbed this time round. You know, we need to see a final. We need, you know, it's one each, and you know, we definitely got to see. We definitely got to see a trilogy. When it happen, we know how long it takes boxing to put fights together.
Yeah.
So let's hope, you know, it doesn't take no more than a year for it to happen, and no drugs involved or whatever else, and everything goes smoothly, and you know, we can have the fight that all the fans want to see.
Yeah, I agree. Well said. So yeah, that's it from us for another episode of The Filthy Casual and The Hardcore. I know doing it on a Friday night is always a little bit controversial, purely on the basis that people are probably out and about right now. But I think, you know, particularly once everyone starts watching the fight, jumping on live, I think we'll have our. So I got a sneaking suspicion we'll have our highest views on that particular review, especially if Joshua loses.
Oh, fucking hell. We don't want that because Joshua just for the views.
I don't want the high views for Joshua losing. Don't worry about it. But anyway, guys, you let us know who you think. Who do you have in the AJ versus Povetkin discussion? Obviously, it's a big fight for AJ, defending 3 of his world titles and his Ring Magazine belt. So let us know what you think. Leave it in the comments down below. If you liked this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. We appreciate every time you guys do that. We'll be back tomorrow evening. As I announced earlier in my ratings preview, I'll be back for Arsenal, doing a preview for the Arsenal versus Everton game tomorrow afternoon. So you're just going to be sick of my face by the end of this weekend. But it'll be worth it, I promise. But all right, people, we're out of it. Take care, people. Peace.
Salute.